And the fourth fate of glucose, number 4, is the synthesis of triglycerides. And triglycerides are the molecules that are components of lipids. So lipids are made out of triglycerides. Lipids are triglycerides. So glucose can be made for the production of lipids. So you can actually put triglycerides are lipids. Okay, so this is performed by hepatocytes, the cells of the liver. Oops, liver cells. Okay, and glucose is first used to synthesize a molecule called glycerol. And also fatty acids. Those are the molecules that can be then used to make triglycerides. Triglycerides. And that is the process called lipogenesis. Okay, and the word genesis means birth. So this is the birth of lipids called lipogenesis. Triglycerides are then deposited into the adipose tissue. Adipose tissue is fat tissue. So adipose tissue, also known as fat. That fat can be under the skin, called subcutaneous fat, or skin or fat around the organs, called visceral fat. And virtually adipose tissue has unlimited storage capacity. So when we eat glucose, so we eat carbohydrates, carbs, or we eat sugars, okay, carbs will be converted to sugars in our body through digestion. Okay, and then sugars will be used to make energy. Whatever was not used for making energy, so the leftover sugars, will be used for making of the glycogen. Glycogen will be stored in the liver and muscle for later use when our body needs energy. If we're not eating, we're not taking in the sugars or carbs into our body, we can always use liver and muscle glycogen storage to convert it back into the sugars and use it for energy. And when the liver and muscle is full, they can only have a limited capacity to store glycogen. So liver can have about 125 grams of glycogen in it, and the muscle can have about 375 grams of glycogen in it. The rest of the glucose, so whatever is left over from energy, from glycogen, is going to be converted into the lipids, into the triglycerides. Okay, and that's going to be stored in a fat tissue around the body. So what happens is that when we eat carbs and sugars, first of all, they're going to be converted into the energy. That energy will be used for various processes in the body, such as breathing, thinking, moving our body. If we're exercising a lot, we're of course going to need more energy. Whatever is left over and is not used up for energy is going to be converted into the glycogen. Glycogen will be stored in liver and muscle. This is like a quick form of glucose, easily accessible. If we need energy, if we're not eating, the liver and muscle can give us that energy because they have glycogen stores inside. And once that capacity is maxed out, the liver and muscle cannot hold any more glycogen. The rest of the carbs will be converted, the rest of the sugars will be converted into the triglycerides, which is stored as fat in the body. So if we are eating lots of carbs and sugars, we're not burning them as energy. They will be converted into fat and potentially make us overweight. So we could store a lot of fat in the body. So we can store essentially unlimited amount of fat in the body.